Today class on prevention and control of arthropod borne diseases. These type of diseases occurs due to arthropods. So they are called as arthropod borne diseases. These are most commonly produced by biting of mosquitoes. Next one, the first disease is dengue fever. It is most commonly caused by the viral virus. It can be transferred by arthropod like mosquitoes. This dengue fever is also called as breakbone fever due to in dengue fever patient feels like breaking of bones. So this disease is also called as breakbone fever. It is also called as dengue fever, dengue hemorrhagic fever, and also called as dengue shock syndrome. Dengue is also called as breakbone fever. It is most commonly caused by flavivirus, flavivirus belonging to family Flaviridae. This type of dengue fever transmitted by vector arthropods, so these are called as arboviruses. It is also called as dengue fever, dengue hemorrhagic fever, dengue shock syndrome, breakbone fever. This type of dengue fever most commonly caused by the flavivirus dengue virus. It is a single strand RNA virus. There are four types of viruses causes dengue fever. Dengue 1, dengue 2, dengue 3 and dengue 4. This is the structure of dengue virus. It is a single stranded RNA virus. It is most commonly caused by single stranded RNA virus covered with icosahedral nucleocapsid by lipid membrane. Dengue fever can be transmitted by vector like mosquitoes. There are two types, Aedes aegypti and Aedes albopicus. Based on the dengue and dengue hemorrhagic fever, it is more than 100 countries can be affected. So based on the countries, there are classified into three types. Category A countries, Category B countries and Category C countries. Comes under Category A. Examples are Bangladesh, India, Indonesia, Maldives and Myanmar, Sri Lanka, Thailand and Timor Leste. Due to having high public problems, lack of hospitalization, and affected by four types of serotype of viruses and spreading to rural areas. So category B's examples are Bhutan and Nepal due to first outbreak occurs in Bhutan and also reported in Nepal. Category C, there is no evidence of endemicity. The major cause of spreading of dengue fever is due to rapid urbanization of areas and also changes in the lifestyle and also deficiency in water management systems like poor sanitation, improper supply of water and false drainage system causes rapid growing of mosquitoes and also rainfall season causes and also water storage causes mosquito breeding. These dengue virus is stable at temperature 16 to 30 degrees centigrade and also favorable humidity conditions are 60 to 80%, and these dengue hemorrhagic fever virus causes releases the cytokines, vasoactive mediators, and procoagulants. Releases causes hemorrhage. So this is called as dengue hemorrhagic fever, and also it is affecting on bone marrow, suppress the production of platelets. So this is called as Brown-Bake fever. Next one, the major causative agent for dengue fever is it can be transmitted by two vectors or Aedes genus. There are Aedes aegypti and Aedes albopictus. All human beings are affected by these dengue fever and also affected to the all aged persons. The most persons who are travel to the dengue fever viral infected areas they are easily attacked, and due to poor sanitation conditions and uncontrollable population growth, and urban places are easily affected by dengue virus fever. The persons who are more risk like infants, elder people, obese patients, pregnant women, the persons who are already suffered with peptic ulcer diseases, and also women suffered with menstruation disturbances and also having abnormal bleeding diseases, and persons who are deficiency of glucose 6 phosphate dehydrogenase enzyme, persons already suffered with congestive heart diseases, and also persons suffered with chronic diseases like diabetes mellitus, hypertension, asthma, ischemic heart diseases, chronic renal failure, and liver cirrhosis. These patients are easily attacked by dengue fever. Next, mode of transmission. This dengue fever can be transmitted by vector or arthropods like Aedes aegypti and Aedes albopictus. Disease can be also transmitted by the infected persons using syringes, lab equipments, also causes transmission of diseases. And also mother to the child can be transmitted by blood transfusion. These dengue virus most commonly infected in only daytime only. These mosquitoes suck the blood from infected persons, and these infected virus can be multiplies in salivary glands of mosquito, and then these mosquito suck the another healthy person. These mosquito infect to the another healthy persons. The incubation period varies from 1 to 4 to 7 days. The life cycle of dengue fever. Once the infected person is suffered with dengue fever, once Aedes aegypti or Aedes albopictus suck the blood from the patients, these virus can be transferred into the mosquitoes. In mosquitoes gut, 8 to 10 days, these virus can be multiplied and distributed throughout the tissues and multiply. These multiplied viruses are transferred through the salivary glands of mosquitoes like Aedes aegypti and Aedes albopictus. Once these infected dengue virus mosquitoes can be sucking to the blood from healthy persons, these infected virus present in the salivary glands transfer into the healthy persons. In healthy persons, these are transmitted through the skin and enter through the blood. In blood, there are replicated and most commonly affecting on WBC cells and lymphatic tissues, and also entered into blood systems. Due to blood system causes leakage of plasma and also causes leakage of blood from the epithelial tissue layers of the skin membranes, and also causes blood platelets production in bone marrow. So this causes decreasing the production of blood platelets, and also causes breaking of bones like feeling to the patients. This is the transmission of dengue virus from one person to the another person. Next one, the major complications of dengue fever is it may be either symptomatic or asymptomatic. In asymptomatic dengue fever, there is no sign and symptoms can be occurs. In coming to symptomatic dengue fever, it may be undifferentiated or dengue fever. In dengue fever may be again classified into two types: dengue fever without hemorrhage and with hemorrhage, and dengue hemorrhagic shock or dengue hemorrhagic fever is occurs due to presence of shock or called as dengue shock syndrome. Without shock, they causes plasma leakages. So, dengue viral infection can be classified into two types based on the symptoms appear, asymptomatic or symptomatic. Symptomatic dengue fever is again classified into two types: dengue fever, dengue hemorrhagic fever, and dengue hemorrhagic shock. Dengue fever, based on the hemorrhagic condition, there are causes with or without hemorrhage. These are the dengue viral infection. Next one, sign and symptoms of the dengue fever. The most common symptoms are rashes on the skin and also decreasing the pulse rate and causes dizziness and also causes lack of sleep and producing heat, and it may causes irritation to the skin due to reddening of eyes, vomiting, anorexia, and producing pain at bones. These are the common symptoms of the dengue fever. Next, another symptoms there are in dengue fever producing high fever, headache, muscle pains, and photophobia, weakness, anorexia, constipation, sore throats, and rashes occurs in the skin and face and neck and chest. In dengue, hemorrhagic fever is characterized by fever and damage the blood and lymph vessels, causes hemorrhage, and also causes bleeding in nose and gums and skins. In dengue hemorrhagic shock, it is occurs due to fever and also causes leakage of fluids from the blood vessels and causes excessive bleeding and finally causes shock. These are the common symptoms of dengue fever. Next one, in coming to dengue hemorrhagic fever contain three types of phases. Dengue hemorrhagic fever, febrile phase, critical phase, and recovery phase. In febrile phase, occurs due to 4 to 6 days. In this type of phase, causes sudden onset of fever, headache, mouth and nose bleeding, muscle pains and joint pains, and diarrhea. In dengue hemorrhagic fever, febrile phase causes plasma leakage and increases the hematocrit value and also causes thrombocytopenia. In critical phase, causes increasing the hemocritic value and causes edema, gallbladder swelling, enlargement of liver, and also decreases the platelet count and loss of plasma volume. In recovery phase, occurs for 24 to 48 hours. In recovery phase, the reabsorbed fluids can be take and causes heart rate can be decreases and patient is recovered to normal state. These are the sign and symptoms of dengue fever, dengue hemorrhagic fever, and dengue shock syndrome. In dengue, shock syndrome causes plasma leakage, bleeding, and organ impairment, and also causes decreasing the pulse pressure and decrease the blood pressure. Next one, diagnosis of dengue fever based on the detection and serological responses. You will using different types of techniques, conducting clinical data of the patient and also conducting physical examination of the conditions of the patient and also conducting the epidemiological data of the patient and community society. First were detection of viral fever. You can isolate the virus from the different places of the patients like mosquito and mosquito cell culture inoculation. It gives result up to 1 to 2 weeks. And the detection of nucleic acid detection, you will perform RT-PCR and real-time RT-PCR and also identified for specific antigens like non-structural protein rapid test. It gives results in minutes. And also antigen detection like non-structural proteins antigen ELISA and immunohistochemistry and also identified antibodies like IgM and IgG seroconversions performed by ELISA and HIA tests. And also IgM detection can be done by ELISA and a rapid test, and IgG detection can be done by IgG ELISA. These are the various types of tests used for detection of dengue virus and their times. In serological responses, using IgM and IgG antibodies can be detected. Using ELISA or neutralization tests or HIA tests. HIA means hemagglutinin inhibition assay. Next one, based on the clinical data collected from the patient and also collected the physical conditions of the patient and also conducting epidemiological survey on particular society or area to determine the conditions of the society to spreading of dengue virus. Next one, these are the various types of diagnostic tests for dengue fever. If the symptoms are appears, first confirm the diseases by conducting laboratory tests like ELISA enzyme linked immunosorbent assay. In this test, detect the specific antibodies like IgM and IgG antibodies can be detected. Another test is immunofluorescence assay. In this test, to check the presence or absence of antigen and antibodies can be detected. And also cultures collected from the mosquitoes can be detected. And also nucleic acid detection can be done by RT-PCR test and also determine the clinical data of the patient by checking the platelet counts below 1 lakh centimeter per meter millimeter cube. In dengue hemorrhagic fever, this count can be decreases. In dengue hemorrhagic shock, this can be also decreases. Antigens like envelope or membrane antigens can be detected and also non-structural antigens can be detected in dengue fever. Next, these are the rapid diagnostic kits or rapid diagnostic test RDT. Dengue fever is can be detected by using these kit to detect the antigens like IgM and antibodies like IgG can be detected from the samples of the serum and plasma and also collected detected in whole human blood. It gives differentiate from IgM M and IgG antibodies of the viral fever. Next one, these are the marketed dengue fever rapid diagnostic test kits. First one is quartet diagnostic test used for detect the IgG and IgM antibodies. Next one, Insta test. This test is used for determination of non-structural one antigen antibodies. Next one, dengue NS1 antibodies detection test. These are the some rapid diagnostic tests used for detection of dengue fever. Next one, dengue hemorrhagic fever can be detected by using positive tourniquet test. This test is performed by determine the inflating blood pressure cuff of the upper arm to the midway between diastolic and systolic blood pressure for 5 minutes. Based on the result, the person is suffered with diagnostic dengue fever or not can be detected. In dengue hemorrhagic fever, the test usually gives positive result. Next, in dengue fever can be treated by using tepid sponge. In fever can be removed by using dengue fever using tepid sponge. These tepid sponge is used for remove the fever conditions of the patients using tap or warm water to make the sponge and remove the cloths of the patient and cover the child with towel sponge and dry his face and also apply to the forehead and neck and armpits and grooms. By this way fever symptoms can be removed. Next one, dengue treatment. There is no specific treatment can be given for dengue fever. If the symptoms are appears, it can be treated. Pains can be produced using acetaminophen can be used. Do not use aspirin, paracetamol. By the use of aspirin and paracetamol causes hemorrhage. In dengue fever conditions, blood platelets volume can be decreased. So in dengue fever, aspirin and paracetamol cannot be used. And also in dengue fever, platelets count can be decreased. So increase the platelet count by using papaya products like papaya leaves extract and papaya leaf preparations can be taken to improve the platelets count. And also giving oral rehydration salts and also giving vaccine dengue vaxia. It is a FDA approved vaccine. It is a CYD-TDV approved in December 2015. It can be discovered by Senoli Pachier. Next one. In hemorrhagic conditions, you will determine the platelets count. Platelet counts can be decreases giving crystalloid solution for 1 to 2 hours for 6 ml per kg per hour. If any improvement is taken, the dose can be reduces. If the further improvement can be seen, discontinued after 24 hours. There is no improvement can be seen, the dose of the crystalloid solution can be increases for 2 hours. If improvement is seen, reduce the dosage up to 5 ml and further reduction in up to 3 ml per kg per hours. There is no improvement can be seen in vital signs. Hemocritic value can be increases and IV crystal colloidal dextran solution can be given in 10 ml per kg body weight for hour 1 hour duration. If the vital symptoms are not improvement, hemocritic value can be decreases. Taking blood transfusions 10 ml per kg body weight per hour by taking platelet transfusion or WBC transfusion. If we can be improvement by reducing the doses up to decreases and discontinued after 24 to 48 hours. These are the treatment given for dengue hemorrhagic fever conditions like grade 1 and grade 2 conditions. If in case of dengue hemorrhagic fever grade 3 and 4 conditions. You will determine the first observe the vital signs of the shock. Immediate rapid replacement by using 10 to 20 ml of kg per hour crystallized solution for 1 hour. If the improvement is seen, the reducing the doses up to 20 to 10 nml and decreases to 10 to 6 and 6 to 3 ml per kg per hour. If the improvement can be seen, it can be discontinued after 24 hours. If the by the administration of immediate rapid volume replacement there is no improvement, giving oxygen. By giving the oxygen, hemocritic value can be increases. The dose can be decreases up to 10 ml per kg per hours. Next, if the chemocritic value can be false, giving blood transfusion like 10 ml per kg body weight per hour. If the improvements are seen, crystallized solution can be decreases the dose up to 10 to 6 and further decreases up to 6 to 3 ml per kg per hour. Or if the symptoms are decreases and there is a improvement can be seen, discontinued after 24 to 48 hours. These are the treatment of dengue hemorrhagic fever grade 3 and grade 4. Based on the grades, you will treat the conditions of the patient using dextran or crystallized solutions. For the treatment of vaccine, you will giving vaccine. It is a dengue virus vaccine, dengue vaxia or CYD-TDV, developed by Sanofi Pasteur, approved in December 2015. It is used for prevents the deadly mosquito-borne disease like dengue. Another new dengue vaccine TV003 and TV005 can be developed by National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Disease. Another vaccine developed by the Takeda called as tetravalent dengue vaccine entered in phase 3 trials. It is a dengue vaxia virus used for control the and also prevents the dengue fever in countries. Next is dengue vaxia. It is available in suspension form. When necessary use, it can be mixed with suitable water for injection solution. These are the prevention and control of dengue fever.